Hello everyone, X Plus here. Today, I'll be teaching you how to use Final Cut Pro, especially if you are a beginner. Like all other skills, video editing also takes time and effort to master. So don't worry if you are unable to complete all tasks at once. You can rewind the video if you need to take a look at how some things are done. Without further ado, let's get started by opening up Final Cut Pro. Over here, you'll see that I have already opened up a project, which is my review video of the Oxygen OS 11 for OnePlus 6. If you'd like to watch it, you can click on the link above. The video timeline might seem very complicated for starters, but don't worry too much. I'll take you through step by step. Firstly, this is the playhead. You can click on this ticker end of the playhead and drag it across the video to play back the video. For every project, you'll need to have a body video like this. This means that when using Final Cut, you'll need to have a moving picture, in other words, a video, and not just audio clips, as it will not be able to process only sound. To use that, you should probably stick to Logic Pro. Next, you can hit the space bar to play and pause the video. So if I hit the space bar now, it will play the video. If I hit the space bar now, it will pause the video. Now, I'll show you how to create a new project. So first, go to File, New, Project, and you can name your project over here as maybe my new project, and the event, you can choose any event you want. Starting time code, I'll choose 00. Formats, video formats can be the vertical, horizontal, square. If you want it to be horizontal, go to custom and make sure you choose the correct resolution, the rate, projection type, and the rest are things that you don't really have to worry about for a beginner. So let me click OK, and we're in a blank project. So firstly, this tab will show you all of the videos that you have imported. So if I click and drag on a video, I click here and I drag it to my timeline, it will just appear on my timeline. So over here, you can see these small waves. This is the sound timeline. To select a video clip, just click on it. Over here, at the top right hand corner, you'll see a few buttons. These buttons will depend on what you click on or what you have selected. First one, it will show you the video properties. You can choose its opacity. 0 means you can't see anything. 100 means you can totally see it. Next, it is the position X and Y. You can drag it to move it to the left or to the right. Or you can drag the Y-axis up and down. Let me reset them. Now we're back. So over here, you can see rotation. You can rotate it however you want. In this case, I'll go to about 90. And we're done. Next, there's scaling. So scaling X will make it taller, or you can go the negative way too. Let me reset it. Or you can scale Y, making it fatter or skinnier. Likewise, for anchoring, you can anchor it up and down, and left and right. Next is crop. So cropping is basically allowing you to remove the space that you don't want. So for example, if I crop to the right, which in case it is because that I have already rotated, that's why the right will be from the top to the bottom. And if it's the left, it's the other direction. How about from the top to bottom? If I crop from the top, it's like this, since I've already rotated it. And if it's the bottom, it will be like this. So, another thing about Final Cut is that if you have rotated a video, you must be flexible about what it means by left, right, X, Y, and everything, as it is not as flexible as we are, since it is a computer program after all. So you might be asking, what is this other icon over here? This is a keyframe icon for which you can animate your video. So for example, if I hover my playhead somewhere here and I click on it, okay, it's yellow so I've selected it, then I add a keyframe, right? You have to add a keyframe every time you want to start an animation. So for example, I add a keyframe here, then I'll move my playhead to where I want to stop my animation at. So for example, I drag my playhead slightly in front, and then I stop here. Then I adjust my crop, maybe over here, to show the notch. And that's it, because it will automatically add a keyframe. So just be careful not to add too many keyframes, and to keep in mind when do you add a keyframe and when do you not, or else it will be a messy affair. To preview the previous keyframe, just click on the left arrow button, Previous Keyframe, and you'll see where the previous keyframe was. So if I hit play now, it shows the animation. Right. So if I were to delete a keyframe, maybe I go to the next keyframe and I delete it, you will just have to click on this button again. If I click on it, go to the previous keyframe, and I hit play again, nothing will happen because I've already deleted that keyframe. Alright, so let me delete all keyframes, and let's go to the next one. Next one, Distort. If I click show, you can see bottom left, bottom right, top left. So to prevent further confusion, let me set this back to its original So you can adjust bottom left. As you can see, the bottom left is being distorted as I click and drag the number from the left to the right. So if I reset it, it will be back to its original position. Same for to say as if I distort it from the bottom left on the y-axis, it will be like this. So for distortion, you can have many cool effects, including animation, adding keyframes. So next, there's this thing called stabilization. If you enable it, you can see that it will smooth out shaky videos. However, just a disclaimer that stabilization has its limitations too. So, as you can see from over here, top left hand corner, you can see that it is loading and analyzing for dominant motion here. So usually I'll wait for this circle to close so that I can preview how the video will be like after it's stabilized. So if I click over here, you can see what it's doing right now. So currently it is transcoding and analyzing things. So I'll wait for the background task to be done. So this is how stabilization is. Next, rolling shutter. If I click this, you can choose from 5 different configurations. So this rolling shutter feature can reduce motion distortion. So for example, if your video is super shaky and it has a lot of fast motion, and it can cause the picture to be slightly wobbly or skewed. So FCP can use rolling shutter to reduce this motion distortion. So if you see over here, it is quite a bit more stable now. If I slowly play it, you'll see that it is less shaky than before. This is because I have both the rolling shutter and stabilization enabled together. I can enable both of them or either one at the same time. Usually I'll just enable stabilization. So if you want to manually just disable one of them, you can simply just uncheck the box here. Since I have not changed any of the settings, you will not see any difference. However, if I change a setting here like Distort and I uncheck the box, you'll see that this effect will be removed. Let me undo this. And okay, so this is the part for this icon. Next, we'll go through this corrections panel. So this thing here is called the color board. If you click here, you can add one more color board, color wheels, color curves, or hue or saturation curves. In color board, you can see 3 tabs. Over here, you can adjust the exposure, saturation, and color respectively. For color, you can adjust it up and down or left, right. It depends on what color you want it to be, filter-like, or correcting the color. Saturation and exposure likewise. At the side, you'll see a global button. Let me show you what the global button can do. As you can see, by shifting the global button up and down, you can see that the exposure gradually becomes even brighter or darker. Let me reset this. And next I go to saturation. Likewise, going down desaturates the video, and going up makes the video more saturated. And for color, this is the global button. You can move it anywhere according to the color. For the rest, it is, if I hover here, these few buttons are for the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights. So you can adjust it according to your preferences. Let me reset this. For saturation and exposure, it's the same too. Next, I'll show you the color wheels. So, the color wheels, you can move this center thing, a circle, to whichever tone you want. So as you can see at the video, you have various effects. And if you shift this circle to different areas, you'll see that this color is changing. So this color here will tell you what the video is moving towards. So for example, if I move it more towards here, it will become more of an orange color. Same for the highlights, midtones, and shadows. You can adjust the temperature, making it warmer, or the tint, or the hue. So I'm going to reset it. And next, you can also adjust the master, shadows, midtones, and highlights manually. And you can see over here, these color boards and curves can stack up together. And you don't need to necessarily change everything on one color board itself. So you can stack up many color boards or wheels or saturation curves together to achieve the effect that you want. So next, moving on to color curves. Over here, you can see that loomer, red, green, blue, and these are the various color curves. So for example, if you want to, for example, change the brightness value of something in the video, you can just click on this eyedropper icon, maybe click over here. Then you can adjust its brightness. In this case, it's more of the surroundings brightness. So let's try again. maybe red. Click on here. Change it. So you can play with all these curves, and naturally you'll see what you like. Next, you can go to the hue or saturation curves. Over here, you'll see that there are many options. And you can always click on the eyedropper icon, click on where you want to adjust, and pull these accordingly to what you like. So for example, I click over here, hue versus luma. I select this, and you can see there are two anchor points which you can make adjustments. For example, if I drag it up over here or over here, you can see that there are quite a few substantial changes. For the rest of them, you can play with them, and naturally you can choose the color profile that you have settled on and you like the best. Next, we move on to the sound panel. Over here, you can adjust how loud you want the volume to be. For example, 12 decibels is the loudest for this. It is the default max loudness. Let me reset this. There's equalization, EQ, if you want to adjust the audio analysis, and for the loudness. Let's click on this. You can adjust it further, even louder. Let me stick back to 40. Or you can adjust the uniformity, how uniform you want the loudness to be. And the feature that I find that I use the most often is noise removal. If I click on this, or if I uncheck this, you can see over here, or you can see over here, that the sound waves will change. This is to remove the noise that the computer thinks is there. However, this is not 100% foolproof, so when recording your own voice, make sure that you are in a quiet environment if you can. Next, I don't usually use hum removal as it's really situational. So there are some times where I use hum removal and that it doesn't produce the natural sound that I want. So usually I'll skip this. But if the sound is really unbearable, you can try it. And there's also frequency which you can adjust, pan, and effects over here. For the effects, I'll show you later. You can drag and drop to the video clip or the sound clip. Okay, next, there is dialog 1, dialog 2. You can change the audio configuration, stereo, dual mono, or reverse stereo. It will depend on your preference and what your project needs. Next is information. For beginners, this is not much to worry about. Moving on, there's this share sheet, which is common on many Apple devices like iOS or macOS. So if I click on this, you can export your completed project to whichever format that you prefer. Usually, if it is for every device to see, you should click on Master File. If you click on YouTube or Facebook, the resolution might be lower than you have expected, so I would recommend you to click Master File Default. For those of you who want to burn to DVD, you can always select this. For the Apple devices, you can choose one of these three options. So if I click here, Master File Default, it will have these columns for me to fill in. So if I want to change my project name to maybe Test, the video name will appear as Test. For the description, it is not really that important. and of course text and create a name. Next, if you go to settings, you can see these specs for which you could change accordingly to what your project needs. There are also roles which you can change accordingly. Over here, you'll see that it is MP4, so it will export as MP4 and about this file size. So when you click next, you'll select where you want to export your video at, and your video will be exported to that place or directory your computer is at. So let me click cancel now, and I'll show you how to import a video. I have now a blank project, so I'll click on here on the top left hand corner the download button which says import media from a device, camera or archive. So click on the download button, and I'll go to desktop and I'll insert the screen recording. So I click on import all, and over here you can see what I've imported. So I'll just drag my screen recording down, and over here you'll see this blue bar over here. This is the body of the timeline, so this is really important. So I put it here, and you'll see that I've already imported my video. So I'll show you the other settings in Final Cut Pro. So over here, you'll see various selection tools. So if I click here, you'll see select, trim, position, range selection, blade, zoom, and hand. So select is the normal one with your normal cursor like this. For T, trim, it is basically trimming clips. Now, if I click position, for which you can also press P, you can place clips anywhere you want. So this is the position tool. Range selection. So basically you can select your range like this. So next, blade. So basically blade is cutting a clip like what I did just now. So you can just click it like this, and now it's separate. Or if I click A back to the arrow tool, and just move your plate around and select the clip, and keyboard shortcut Command B, and you'll split the clip. And I'll go to the next one, zoom. So if you click zoom anywhere, you can just see what is in between more easily. Zoom, zoom, you can see more frames. So now, if I click hand, it will just allow me to push the clip, see where I want to see. Yeah, and basically these are the tools. So I'll go back to select. Moving on to these few buttons. This is where there are three options: transform, crop, and distort. So it's basically the same as what I've talked about previously over at the top right hand corner, the inspector. Over here, they are the same, it's just that it's more of a visual interface. So let me show you. If I select this clip and I click transform, you can see that there are handles over here, here, here. If I zoom out, you can see these handles more clearly. And this is the circle for which you can drag your clip around. And this will allow you to rotate your clip. So this is more of a so-called visual representation. And you can click reset over here. And next, there's a crop. It's basically the same thing, just that with the handles. Reset. So under crop, this is trim. Crop. Crop actually maintains the aspect ratio, so like this. Reset. There's canvas. So let me show you canvas now. let me blade it somewhere. So if I move my plate here, select the clip, I blade it with Command B, and I select the clip again. Let me go to crop, canvas. So if I want to zoom in or zoom out, let's start with zoom out first, alright? So you'll see this arrow, so it'll move from this center to this tree. So if I wanna make it move from this tree, and that at the end I can see the larger landscape, I'll just have to do this. Okay, this is the start and this is the end. So I click done and let me go here. Okay, so I click play. It will look like this. Alright, so I click Command Z, and it will return back to normal. Let me click on this clip again, and now select Distort. So Distort is the same functionality as you have seen previously in that inspector, and there are these handles over here again. So you can drag, drag. And right over here, before I forget to say, there is also a keyframe adder. You can add a keyframe and then you can make your animations. Click done. And over here there's this play button, and click stop, it will stop. And over here, this is the color inspector, which is what I've shown you previously. And there's enhance audio, making audio louder, clearer, and matching audio. To the right of this button, there is the speed controls. You can go slow, 50%, 25, 10, for which 10 is really slow, and for fast, 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, 20 times. And if you want to go back to normal, that's 100%, hold, late speed, custom. So usually I'll choose custom if I want to speed up or slow down stuff. If you want to reverse a clip, you can just click this and it'll reverse itself. So let me demo one time. Okay, I'll start by blading here. If you want to speed up or slow down, you can choose from this menu. So my recommendation would be you go to slow or fast and select the speed that you want, then go to custom and adjust the speed accordingly to your preferences. So right now, I'll go to fast, click 8 times, and I'll play back to see if it is good. Now I'll stop. If it is not good, I can go here, custom, and I can change the speed accordingly. So maybe 795, and it will change accordingly, or 6 to 5. This is more obvious. So I can also click reverse and it will just go reverse. But if it's reversed, it will be -100. Click normal again, it will go back to normal. It will be this green thing. And reverse, there will be a negative sign. If I reverse the clip again, it will go back to normal. Make it back to normal, there will be this green thing over your clip. So let me go back. So everything is normal. Next, there's this full screen logo. If you click full screen, it will automatically play the video, and when you reach the end, it will loop back to the front of the video and play everything again. So next, lower right hand corner of the screen, you can see transitions. So actually this button here, dual triangle button, is the transitions browser. So this is all transitions. You can see cross dissolve, 3D. So you can play back the animation, the transition, to see roughly how your video will look like. You'll see that it is immediately different, right? And if you want a smooth transition, you can put a more obvious one, a 3D rectangle, and you can see, right? If I play it, Yes, so this is the transition that I'm talking about. We can experiment with the others too, like 360 degrees bloom. So like this, or you can choose the others too. And these transitions are also categorized into all these columns so that you can easily find them. The search, where you can search for your transitions. You can also install transitions if you like. There's also effects, both audio and video. If you want to add additional color boards, you can put it here. Or split screen. And there are many video effects. King is one of the green screen effects, and there are many other effects which you can explore. There are also audio effects, many audio effects, many video effects. I can show you like some preview of how it be like with 50s TV, 360 noise reduction, 360 patch. So this is how it looks like. If you want to preview it, if you'd like, you can just click it and drag and drop over here. Let's move on to the top left hand corner. There are titles and generators. So this is typically where we insert our video title. So if I insert one here, it will just appear like this. Let me delete it. If I choose a basic title, if I drag and drop the basic title here, double click it, I can type maybe hello, like this. And you just play hello like this. You can change the text settings over here. This paragraph thingy. You can change its line spacing, tracking, position, rotation, scale, face. The face will change the color of the text. So if I'll show you, you can change it to red, green, all these, and there are many other presets. Opacity, how transparent you want it to be, blur, whether you want it to blur or not blur, and outline, you can enable or disable all of these. Disable face and you can see nothing. And all the usual stuff. And this shows you that if you select a different thing, there will be different icons over here. And yeah, this is a free title that I've downloaded and installed. It's not included in FCP. There are also generators. There are these generators which you can drag and drop into your video and add on. Like this, time code and shapes, counting, it's included. Grayscale, colors, textures, like natural, all these textures. So if you go here, you can see your photos, import it from photos, your music, sound effects, and yeah, this is where you have imported all of your videos from. So the last part of this video, I'll be talking about the other useful shortcuts. There's this shortcut called Option C, for which you can type in your captions. So let's say this is a caption. Okay, so if I play it, it will say this is a caption. So this is just a basic caption. If you want fancy ones, you have to go to titles and insert one of those here. Or you can go basic title and just insert it, change some stuff. Command B, which I have said just now. Command B, play it. So you can drag it here, drag it down, drag it wherever you want. Command Z to undo, And there's also V, so basically let me play this and drag it out. So if you V it, you'll not see the clip. So if I V it, let me drag it to a more obvious place, and if I play it, it will treat it as if it's not there, as you can see. If I V again and V it, you'll play it. And just think the usual Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V also exists. So let's say you want to copy a color profile to another video clip, and the other properties like transform, crop, and animations. You can just Command+C and select this other video clip that you want. Shift Command+V, and you'll see this paste attributes. You can select whatever you want to paste, distort, whatever, or sometimes if the color board there is a color board present, you can just paste the color board. This shortcut, which is called M, for example, I play this video and I see that I want to maybe put a sound clip here. I pause the video and then I press M, and as you can see over here, you can see that there's a marking over here. So this is actually a very convenient place for which you can place your audio clip, or you can place another clip. So for example, if I want to place another clip on top of it, this is just a demo, so let's Command+B, and I can just place my clip that I want on top of the bookmark. And if I want to delete the bookmark, I can just double click on it and I can delete it. And if I accidentally press M, I can just remove the M by just pressing M again and delete. So what happens if I want to put the M on the specific clip? If it's so, I have to press the clip, I have to select the clip by pressing M, and that's it. If not, on the topmost part of the video, so if I press M now, it'll be on top. So this is it for the basics tutorial. If you like my video, please share it, subscribe, and give a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can just tell me in the comments. See you again soon. This is X+. Bye bye.